I have repeatedly put in requests to speak to the governor about the issue of temporary hazard pay, and time and again, he refuses to meet on the subject, refuses to listen to your stories. One key staffer advised us, after he said he met with others to discuss the situation, that we should quickly try and secure a temporary hazard pay settlement agreement so that monies could be inserted into a hazard pay funding bill. Well, when we, of course, went and started to inquire, word got back that we supposedly heard wrong and we misinterpreted what we were told. I can assure you that was BS. We did not hear wrong, and we did not misinterpret what was said. With all the federal uncertainty going on, temporary hazard pay and a host of other issues are casualties of this legislative session. Monies are being held tightly with the expectation that the legislature will have to hold a special session in the months to come in order to shore up any federal funding that doesn't get allocated to our state. And so be it. While you, our members, were in classrooms putting your lives on the line, office workers who are shielded from interacting with the public got payouts of $20,000. Believe me, fairly compensating our members with temporary hazard pay, just like the payouts our fellow Hawaii government workers have been receiving, is an issue that is not going to go away. Our current contract does not expire for another 2 years, at the end of June 2027. Delegates, I am informing you now, and will be informing our membership tomorrow, that not long ago we did receive a settlement offer to extend the current contract for an additional 2 years, at the equivalent of 4% each year. Your negotiations team, after a lot of deliberation, came to the conclusion that we not take the offer. This decision was later unanimously supported by the Greater Negotiations Committee and unanimously again by your board of directors. This was not the first time in the recent past that money has been put on the table to keep us quiet for an additional 2 years. Let me tell you a little about why we said no this time around. What you see here is the first contract HSTA settled covering 1972 to 1974. Within it contained a reference to the salary schedule that was in effect for the 1971 to 1972 school year. As you can see along the side, there were years of service indicated going down from 1 through 9, and then there were longevity steps going from L1 through L4, which represented 3-year increments. You also see along the top salary ranges from 1 through 9. Salary range 9 in the following contract, the one right after this contract, was retitled to Class 7. Range 9, which became Class 7, has been the final column of our salary schedule since the start of HSTA, and we're happy that Class 8 will finally become a reality in just 3 months. You can also see that we've gone from top down to bottom up in the salaries listed on the schedules. Now, let's compare the starting salaries and top salaries from both of those schedules. For next school year, I'm only comparing the 10-month teachers and not the 12-month ones, which didn't exist prior to 2013. Starting salary you see for next year is that of our emergency hires who have not completed a state-approved teacher education program. As you can see, the amounts have gone up by thousands upon thousands of dollars. But how would the amounts then compare with now in terms of your buying power? So using September of 1971, I plugged those amounts into the US Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index inflation calculator. That's a mouthful. And here's what turned up. As you can see, the starting salary has been keeping up with inflation growth over the 50-plus years. The top salary certainly has not, even with the addition of Class 8. Pair this information with the fact that the State Salary Commission is putting forward raises between 35% and 48% over the next 6 years for members of the executive branch, the judiciary, and legislators. These are just some of the reasons why your negotiations team said no to accepting the 4% and 4% for 2 additional years. We can't go 2 extra years without being able to have a say on other items, like hazard pay, in the current collective bargaining agreement. And so the time is now to begin thinking of our next steps. Unlike other bargaining units that do not have the option to strike, we do. While we can't strike now, perhaps that is what it's going to take after our current contract expires. We need to get out of that bucket of crabs and others trying to pull us back into the bucket as we just try to get on par with our counterparts across the country with similar costs of living. But we won't do it unless we stand strong. We won't do it unless we stand united. We won't win if we don't fight. So it's time to start getting into that fighting spirit. Can you read for me? What do you see at the top of this picture?
We are HSTA.
Let me hear it. Who are we?
We are HSTA.
Who are we?
We are HSTA.
Who are we?
We are HSTA.
Mahalo.